Tap the screen, share the live, send me some love. Pleasant good night, everyone. Welcome. Welcome Trinidad and Tobago. And welcome to the Let Your Voice Be Heard program, where we are aired on TikTok and on YouTube. And let me apologize to the YouTube viewers. Because of technical difficulties, we were unable to air the program on YouTube, so we humbly apologize. On the Let Your Voice program, we allow people to come up. We allow the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to come up and voice their opinions on issues that is affecting we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So if it is that you want to come up in the box and voice your opinion on what is taking place in our country, you are free to do so. Come up and let your voice be heard respectably, yeah? No violence, no threatening language. Mr. Paul Singh, I'm on YouTube tonight, Max, yes. The producer would have, the technician actually, he would have fixed the, Mr. Paul Singh, give me a couple of minutes and then you will come up, right? Yes, Mr. Jeffrey would have fixed the problem that we were having on YouTube that was preventing the YouTube viewers from viewing the program. People that is requesting to come up, I will tell you when you all can come up, okay? Share the live. Let me share the live on my end as well.
Tell me where else can we go? If we little children are not free to grow. Tell me where else can we go? If they try to ban the words in the calypso, you could try to stop social media. Money taping of police murders. You could rewrite a bill like it's over.
This is Trinbago.
Take one and look around. Even lingo and all could see confusions in tongue.
Tap the screen, share the live, everyone.
It's affecting everybody.
Hey Trinity, pleasant good night.
And Facebook trolls. Even high soldiers lost their role. The world's upside down. And I'm worried for my country. Cause every day I see victimization. Racial and social aberration. He's saying is love and need to go wrong. But we spreading this thing like a toxin. Man, things getting so tense. Some can't pay their
Share the live, tap the screen, guys.
of this feeling permanent. But what scares me though, just so that you know, is the money we about to borrow. Tell me where else can we go? If the IMF start to pull we too. Tell me where else can we go? If we toilet paper start to run too low, you could stress out the secret for work. Take a fool and make him a leader. You could change every code cause it's your show. But don't forget,
This is Trinbago. Trinity, when you come up, you will show me how to do that, right?
I know it's good intentions.
Welcome everyone. Tap the screen, share the live, send me some love.
What only cause rebellion.
Let me share the live some more.
Like what caused Capulet in times of old. And it's so the story untold is that rebellion that give we people identity. So careful how you deal with the intellect. Cause DNA remembers every aspect. Not every time we cry it's just politics. Your mind could start to play you some dirty tricks. Look, remember that honor comes before minister. And that's why we give you so much power. So don't let us down and don't let us frown. We need to see our 360 turn around. Tell me where else can we go? If your promises start to look untrue, tell me where else can we go? If your own voters losing trust in you, you could do what you want with what intent. You could part out the independent bench. You could change the country.
Hi, pleasant good night everyone. And again, to all the newcomers, welcome to the Let Your Voice Be Heard program. I'm your host tonight, Candice Edwards. And again, I would like to apologize to the viewers on YouTube because of technical difficulties beyond our control. You all were unable to view the program, but tonight we are up and running. Welcome. Let me say hi to some of the people in the comments. Mr. Mags, Trinity, everyone. Warren, Judy, Nigel, M&M. Everyone, pleasant good night. So, feel free if you want to come up in the box and make a contribution or talk on issues that is affecting you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. But the topic I want to bring tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, right? So $3.4 billion to fix housing in Trinidad and Tobago, right? That was given out in contracts to build new housing, I should say. When hundreds of houses were built previously, have not been given out to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Why build new houses when there are already houses built, ready and waiting? But by now they must be vandalized and it need refurbishing. I want to hear all the opinion on that tonight. So I have one more topic after this, right? One more topic. So we'll elaborate on this topic first, right? And I want to hear all your opinion on that. Why is that $3.4 billion are given to contractors to build new homes when hundreds of homes that were built previously have not been given out to people of this country? I want to hear all your opinion on that. Right? So whoever wants to come up in the box, I see Mr. Invite, accept. All right. Pleasant good night, Mr. Paul Singh and Trinity. Right, Mr. Paul Singh, I want to hear your opinion on that. Why is it that let me repeat. What do you think about that? $3.4 billion are given to contractors to build new homes when hundreds of homes that were built previously have not been given out to the people of Trinidad.
Well, you know who you don't, Princess, you don't know already who's supposed to get a contract, and they didn't get it. They're not wiping out the person who's supposed to get a contract. They're supposed to get a contract to build them houses because that was the
No, but you
negotiation. I
have to
think
say what. I would like you to use the word allege. Allege. It is alleged. Right? So we don't want nobody coming and flag the platform. Now, let me tell you this. I find it, to the person that I just brought up, could you mute your mic? And when it's your chance to talk, you will unmute your mic.
Right. So
right? And to the people, and pleasant good night. Hold on, let me say a special good night again and welcome to the YouTube viewers. Okay, let me go. Right? And to the people in the comments, I want to hear all your opinion on this. Why give out contracts and look at the amount of money, $3.4 billion, and they already have housing? Why not refurbish those houses and give them out to the people? Why spend money to build new houses when it already have houses built? That is the question tonight.
But that is a distraction to thief and express money in the housing sector. Because I don't trade that's so big to have all our houses to cost all our money. So some of them going in the housing, some of them going in their pocket, but majority going in their pocket. And them houses where they say they're going and build, they could have do some repairs on them houses and sell it back whoever.
Julius Malima.
All right, so that's your contribution. Mute your mic for a while. Let me hear what is speaking. Mr. Paul, mute your mic a bit. Right. So let me bring up the newcomer. Trinity, you hold on. Hi, pleasant good night, sir. Or ma'am, I didn't see your name. Something so.
Good night. What's up, Gil? This is me from the hospital. I just meet you the other day. We talk back the other day and you give me the number. Right. Let me say something. That is to build a set of house, gated communities for the friends and the family, and build some little poor houses for people to say that they do something. And the rest is the thief. There's no alleged. This is facts. Because it's Arnold Roberts there, you know. And Philip Alexander, you know. You understand? So you know what that money going out there for. You understand? I don't know about the Chinese man. The housing minister himself. But where he wants them today, is money going to be missing in that. And I hope how they pause it, I hope they make them change that whole shit. Trust me.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Trinity, hold on a bit, right? Mr. Megatron, don't leave here. Stay on the panel. Mr. Megatron, I would like to hear your opinion on that. If you want me to repeat the question, I can. Or were you up and running and heard the question before? Megatron? All right. So, Trinity, let me hear your opinion on that.
Look at here. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that. Good night, everyone. Good night, Warrior Princess. I just want to say good night to you. God is the greatest. I want to say good night to Trinity, everybody else, Mr. Paul, all who locked on TikTok, YouTube. Right, so let me get on to the nitty-gritty here now. So, they say right now, they want to pause putting in that 3 billion into HGC right now. They want to put a pause on that. So that kind of sound good. Well, 0.4 billion, that sound kind of good. I just want to know, I hear they're keeping a big party for the 1 year anniversary. I don't know how true that is. 1 year or less celebrating. Yeah, but 1 year or keeping a 1 year anniversary party for celebrating hardship and oppressing the people. I don't understand that one. I want to know what's going on with the gentleman last night with his kids, if he's all right. I joined the forum to ask really what going on with him.
All right. Well, we will talk about that a little after the show, right?
Yeah.
Let us not stray. But I want to, so that's your opinion. What do you think? You think, all right? So before I put the pause on it, and when you heard about the sum of money that was given out in contracts, how you felt about that?
I felt hurt and disrespected because that sum of money could invest back into the country, invest back into the people, create jobs, open a airway for we to say, well, I know what they go through some pressure. I find that was a situation where they're putting people to thief, man, put the country in furthermore debt and duress. People under duress right now, Warrior Princess. Everybody, people under hardship. I get 2 phone calls today, people under hardship. I have friends asking me what to do, and I can't tell them what to do because I myself have been somebody who have been retrenched and rocking back right now and trying to get something going and can't get it going. So I don't even know how to help the people who asking me for help. I think that money they could do so much because I hear they talk about the food importation bill. That money could go back into farmers where we could really feed the nation and they could export some food and get some forex in the country and amongst other things. Them fire tenders and all, they spend that $50 million on how much people get paid quietly under the carpet, how much hush money pass, how much people pockets get lined. So again, I appeal to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, let good sense prevail and let us do the right thing now because like democracy dead, we don't have no rights, we seeing citizens every day dying, we seeing people getting locked up for even voicing no opinion. We seeing things happening so wrong that nothing happening right. Just today I passing and I saw a mother, a young child on the side of the road. She lost her apartment, she lost her job. She wasn't able to save any money to say, well, I could do anything. She doesn't have family, so I had to try to see if I could look back on her and see what's going on. People suffering. And they had the money to make life easy, but they're spending the money on things that not important. HGC done already have so much places done build already. It have apartments that empty in Greenville. It have apartments that empty in Mova. It have apartments empty all over the place. All you don't need to spend that money there right now. You all can spend that money back into the economy and make it boom and let people let's have a way of life. People let's want to work to feed their family, to have a way of life. That is all. So Warrior Princess, I just want to say I commend you on the job well done. As an advocate, as a strong advocate, God will always bless your heart. I want to thank everybody and all who on the panel who come in and voicing their opinion because truth be told, suicide is a hell of a thing. Right now, there are a lot of people who mentally frustrated and depressed right now and don't be surprised later down the road we hearing some things happening with some. Because people done so deep in debt, it had no way they could come back out. So that's my contribution. Thank you.
And you know, Princess, the same thing he said. I see this girl having an interview with them homeless and them on the side in a road down in Port of Spain. And people and them telling them, imagine homeless and all crying and all. Instead of taking our money to build houses, could I build something for the homeless and take them off the street?
Yeah, but Mr. Paul, listen to me. They want to give out $3.4 billion in contracts, right? It has so many houses, HGC houses all over Trinidad and Tobago that is built and just there, only ghosts living in it, cockroach living in it, rat living in it. It started to break down, people started to vandalize it. Why not refurbish those houses and give out, because there are people who working and can afford to pay a monthly installment for the houses. Why not do that? Why go and build new houses? That not making no sense. I don't know. When I heard that, I asked myself, I said, but wait now, these people them for real?
We Grandy boy,
So what happened?
we Grandy boy supposed to get them contract.
Well, it is alleged. Please use the word alleged, please.
Well, it was
Please use
alleged.
the word alleged.
But it was alleged that
Right.
we Grandy boy supposed to get them contract. But they find that was too much money to give him. And he's not a straight here like he. They see him, they see him as a African, normal word, and nigger. So they would not give him that kind of money in contract. So wipe him off.
And to my surprise, it's only 11 contractors would have gotten those contracts. So I don't understand why spend top in mud. It already have houses there. Refurbish the houses and give out the houses and them parallel people who have application inside since Mary was a little lamb.
Yeah, but we know all that. We know all that. If they do that, they won't have much money to thief. So they have to give out that amount of money to get money to thief amongst the three of them. It's three of them that share that money, you know.
I am happy that the opposition leaders and them, ministers and them, they highlighted that and they put a halt on it because that's not really making sense. The country done in an economic crisis. We're going through hell. People coming up every day on social media and making the little videos. They flooding my platform and complaining that things tough with them. Okay. And all that money for 11 contractors to build new houses when they already have houses there.
Okay, Princess. You're giving out a contract, that thing. Why you hire the people and them who are trade and they know the people and them who struggling, get them a contract for each of them. Instead of giving the person who have already. It's people who have already, they give any contract in it.
But give it to people. Right, well, give it to people.
Look, Favor Village was only UNC friends was selling in there, you know. And UNC family, you know.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I want to interject something. That money that they're spending for that housing development corporation, right now the corporations around Trinidad and Tobago barely have money to pay staff. Come May, June here, there's going to be additional people out of a job. Out of that $3.4 billion, that come like a heritage and stabilization fund package. They could balance back the country to some kind of normalcy. The Port of Spain Corporation right now struggling, as my friend tell me today, and they don't start to make arrangements to cut some people. The Point 14 Borough Corporation was supposed to keep celebrations, which starts 2 weeks before the actual celebrations. They're struggling. So corporations are struggling around the place. Use that same money and sow back into areas where need fixing. You telling me that the government could not take that same money or some of the $50 million where they had 6 fire tenders and they keep big show and big papi show and big media frenzy and fix back fire tenders that down and refurbish them and put them back on the road? How much desolate vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago Police Service have that rotting down all over in big car parks that they could fix back instead of giving them millions and millions of dollars in new vehicles to crash bunks and write off all over the place? So again, the priorities is not for the people, the priorities is about friends. And if these 11 contractors, mind you, out of these 11 contractors, 4 of them only in business for the last year and a half, 2 years, so that's inexperienced people they put in there because they know well here what they could get them a little money because they plant a teeth. So this is what has been, this is the things happening. People need to open the eye. I'm telling you, listen, this place is going to end up like Haiti. If people really fed up and they really think this place could end up like Haiti, revolution could happen here. It is unfair here. There are people who suffering in the place. Open back CPEP, give back the people the job so they could get to continue to mind the families. The place could start to look clean again, sow some money into the corporations and start to diversify the country. Right now, we'll let the country running down into the slums. We can't go by the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, and borrow no more money because how much money we don't owe them already that we pay back yet.
The crowd big.
So that's thanks.
All right.
And the thing is, that is money them tiffin land spending so All them
All
tax,
right. So
tax them
I
out.
have Mr. All right. I have Mr. Barefoot and City Ram. So I'll give Mr. Barefoot a chance to come up and voice his opinion, and City Ram something will come up after. Mr. Barefoot, pleasant good night.
Good
night,
fuck I end up on this
Gloria,
fucking thing, man.
and to the rest of
Good
the
night.
persons on this panel, as well as those listening. Because I only just joined the live, I would like to get some time to familiarize myself with the topic and the discourse that it has been having so far. Warrior, I would have reached out to you, was it day before yesterday, hoping that you would have gotten back to me. I had made some communication based on one of the lives that we were having before with Mr. E.D. Stewart.
Yes.
So I was hoping to have him join one of the lives. I know that it is still possible, so we can probably discuss that sometime off here, that kind of thing. But I'll go back down and just listen for a while, familiarize myself with what is happening, and then I'll come up. Yeah.
Right, but you heard the question, right?
No, I didn't. That's why I said I would listen.
All right, so the question was, why is it that $3.4 billion are given to contractors to build new homes when hundreds of homes that were built previously have not been given out to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? Do you find that is fair, feasible, or do you think that, that's the wrong way, they're going down a wrong road? They should, at least they should hold up on that a bit and try to refurbish the set, because they have a lot of houses all over the place, empty AGC houses throughout Trinidad and Tobago that, has been vandalized, where ghosts living in it. It just standing still, and by now, it would have been deteriorated. Some of them, not so badly, I should say. So then they could use some of that money, refurbish the houses, and give them out. Why go and build new ones? So that is the question, Mr. Barefoot. So if you want, you could come back down, and then you could go back down, and then I'll bring you up again.
You're asking two questions there. So I'll tackle the first part of the question. Why are they doing it?
Or you could.
I think the population in Trinidad and Tobago, we are politically wise enough now to know why governments do certain things, especially when it flies in the face of convention. So that the why, in my opinion, is to thief. The why to give out $3+ billion in contract is to thief, is for kickbacks, etc. However, I'm wondering if persons noted that that process was halted today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, they would have put a halt on it for a bit.
Right, because the procurement regulator would have put a halt to it. That alone should tell you something, that the process was incorrect, that what they are doing is illegal. Right? Thankfully, we have a procurement regulator that is actually working, and that process was halted. As to the projects that have already started and some just languishing for years on end, it flies in the face of common sense as to why they would not have want to go and have those properties brought up to standard and then distributed, etc. But then again, maybe the amounts of returns that one could have garnered from that is not significant. So that new project has to come into the play in order to facilitate certain things. If you drive through Trinidad and Tobago, I know of a significant development that was happening right not very far from me in Valsane that has stopped for many years, and that should have, that should have been rehabilitated and have those houses distributed. There are several others in San Fernando and so on, several others all over the country, So I agree with that. We should tackle those first. However, what we
Yes.
should do and what we do are two completely different things. And the government's wisdom behind what they do, well, again, it flies in the face of convention.
Okay. Okay, so I have two new people up in the box, Mr. Glenn something and Q. Mr. Glenn, you would like to give your contribution? Mr. Glenn?
Yes, it's Glenroy. Yeah.
Glenroy, right. I only seen Glenn. Right. Pleasant good night, son. Welcome.
Greetings. Tobago here. Yeah.
Tobago in the house.
Tobago in the house.
Welcome.
Right. I was on last night listening to you. What I wanted to gather more knowledge as to the direction the conversation was in and what it was entirely about, and I was very interested in hearing it. So I come back on tonight and I saw Mr. Barefoot was giving his contribution as well. Here's what I have to say. There is a pattern called the norms. There's a pattern called the norms where the people see the government the media will put out certain information about inside knowledge to corruption by either party. And what it does, they leave it down to the people to discuss that, debate that, and make what they want with it. But it solves nothing at the end of it, because this will just end up like all the rest, pushed beneath the covers, because there's more important issues to deal with. There's bigger fish to fry. So when the people taking this up in their hands, this is no concern to the people, because we can't do anything about that, because this has been going on for decades. What the government want to do is make sure and distract the people enough so they don't rebel against the injustices and the authoritarian style of government that is taking place. Everything is being done is to keep the people under control, contained, keep them in fear against their will, and have them not figure out that the power is with them so they could fight back. We don't have to go and burn down nobody's business, break up no glass. There's a way to go about getting the government's attention, and it's called just say no. If people say we're not going to work, then that's a shutdown. 2 days alone is too much for the government, for the country to be shut down. That the government will lose a lot of money like that. And that's the most simplest way to fight back. If the people don't want to go protest because of the SOE, fine. There's a way to get their attention, because the further we go with look at what they're doing and oil and CARICOM, that is serving no purpose, because what is to come is going to affect the people on the ground who are called the so-called voters. It won't affect the politicians. They are well off. Right? This economic war that is going on here right now will hit the people very hard. And the longer it goes on, the worse it gets. I fed up here people speaking about what the government doing, how much corruption, and this one getting contract. The main fact that is there is corruption in every government. Politics is a corrupt business. So when people vote and they don't have the power to fight back, that is enslavement. Yeah. Because we know what is going wrong. We see everything is going wrong. The year started with a bang, and we already passed 100 murders already. So why are we here talking?
117 murders.
Right. No, I'm not throwing that at nobody. I'm just speaking from a general position. As what is our position as the people on the ground who are paying taxes, who are seeing what is going on, that all of these mechanisms put in place is to stymie any reaction for freedom. Yeah. Right? We see
the SOE, that SOE there, you see that SOE, and that's so they wanted to bill, they wanted to pass, is to muzzle the mouths of the citizens, to have us in a gear while they do whatever they have to do for the Next 4 years to come.
Right, well said. So I'm going to even touch on that. So we saw what happened. So failed, the SOE came back into play, and all of a sudden, the murder toll starts climbing again after all the brag about a 40% drop with the radar and all kind of crap, you know. And now we're seeing it up again. So what they're doing is trying to shape the minds of the citizens to say, well, look, or look, could get this also now because crime on the rise again. It is all packaged and put together to catch the people.
Mr. Glenroy,
Yeah.
I saw something, and I want to touch on it, but I want us to give people a chance to elaborate on this because I saw something where they
Sure, no problem. Fair
where
enough.
where the government the U.S. government employees stationed in Trinidad and Tobago, right, are prohibited from traveling to several high-risk areas in Port of Spain. I saw that today, and they went on to list the high-risk areas, but we'll talk about that after, right? But let us stay on this topic.
That's a question.
Yes, you can.
Could I ask a question? The
Yes, you can.
procurement body that halts the payments to be made to these companies, right? What is the purpose of them? Are they going to investigate who is the companies that got these payment that will be getting these monies, or they just halt it and just going to start it back sometime? I don't understand. What
Well, I believe
the purpose of
I
all?
believe the fact that they would have halted is because they probably want to do a little more investigation on it because they ain't gonna just stop it just so to start back. Because I believe the opposition leaders and the ministers and they would have argued about that. So let's wait and see.
I could interject something.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr.
But I
Megatron.
am sure
The country right now is in uproar.
Just
Everyone,
one at a time, please. Hold on, Mr. Megatron. Continue making your contribution.
now I was saying I am sure, right? With the length of time the government take to do this, being in power for a year, is a year, right? I am
Yeah.
sure one or two of them put things in place where companies is concerned to get that money. I am sure about that. I don't trust Annie Roberts for nothing. I'm talking with conviction.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Megatron, you can go ahead and make your contribution.
I'm sure right now as we're speaking, ministers of the government followed lives on TikTok and they're hearing the people on the opposite side. There's an uproar because of the amount of money that is being ridiculously wanting to spend on that Housing Development Corporation project. As I said before, physical conservatism seems to be the order of the UNC today. They have a kind of high hand, mighty, oppressive behavior about them, and they don't have a board or a corruption board over them to hold any minister accountable for the mismanagement of the funds of Trinidad and Tobago. If there was a board appointed without fear or favor or favoritism to watch over these government ministers in the expenditure of monies on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago, these government ministers wouldn't be making stupid, reckless decisions with money that didn't come from their pocket. Okay?
Okay. So, Mr. Barefoot.
So I want the gentleman before would have asked a question, and I just wanted to address that so that we understand what is happening with regard to this $3.4 billion worth of contracts. One, concerns were raised about lack of transparency. So the process was described as being hidden or shrouded behind secrecy. Key details such as project locations, designs, timelines were not clearly disclosed. Selective tendering instead of open competition. So, for instance, contractors were chosen from a pre-selected list, not full public tendering. Critics, there's also that there were predetermined who what it means is that, using selected contractors means that you can predetermine who actually wins the contract. So there's possible breaches of the procurement regulations as well. The opposition would have raised questions about whether the process followed the Public Procurement Act properly, and some of the issues that they raised were questionable pre-qualification criteria, potential misuse of the OPR guidelines, unfair or weak competition. Some contractors were allegedly excluded, experienced contractors that is. Many selected firms reportedly had little to no track record in housing construction. So just imagine that. Contractors selected to build houses worth billions of dollars and have absolutely no experience in building houses, right? Some of the problems that would have occurred as well is problems with the standstill period. A 10-day challenge window was used. Critics, critics would say that too short of a period of time for this size of contract. So normally, what it would mean is that you'd have much more time than that, especially given the size of the contracts that were given out. There's the possibility for bid rigging, and I would have raised that before. Basically, a cartel type behavior, and we would have seen this happen back in from 2010 to 2015. I'm not sure if persons remember the highway to Point Fortin, and the contractor that was sole selected for that process. That contractor was known internationally for bid rigging, right? So there are claims that the system may have been structured to a specific contractor so that specific contractors would win. This is a major red flag under the procurement oversight. So the bottom line basically is that the regulator's role is to protect fairness, transparency, and legality in public spending. So if there were signs of limited competition, unclear criteria, possible legal breaches, or unfair advantages, that is why they would have stepped in and halt the process to review the process used until it becomes compliant with the regulation.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. So, Chatter, pleasant good night, my love. I see you come up a little late. So, you want to give your contribution?
Pleasant good night. I now come up there, so I didn't get the topic.
All right, so let me tell you. All right, we were talking about the $3.4 billion that were given out in contracts to build new houses.
For the HGC.
For the HGC, when they already have empty houses where they could probably refurbish and give to the people, why build new houses?
They could take that $3.5 billion and put it into the...
3.4, don't add an extra billion. 3.4 to be exact.
That $3.4 billion, they could take that and allocate it somewhere to open back jobs for the country, so the 64,000 people who are out of jobs, right, could get a relief. Because before the UNC did come in power, Stag did walk around and was showing how much abandoned
yes.
So why they can't refurnish and bring those apartments online? Why they need to spend that larger?
Are you there? We didn't hear what we did. The few words you said, you were saying we didn't hear it.
Why they don't refurnish those buildings, those apartments and houses, right? Right now, the state of the country, and the people need jobs. The people don't need more apartments to give to UNC friends and family, right? The people need jobs. So they could take that $3.4 billion and reopen back some jobs, create some new jobs for the people and them of the country. That is my idea. We really don't need those apartments right now.
Exactly, my point exactly. So let me give Mr. QU3 a chance to say something. Hello, pleasant good night, sir.
It's not a man, it's a woman. Blessed night,
sorry.
warrior princess.
Pleasant good night.
My little contribution is, people not looking at the spiritual aspect of everything. They're just watching it with a bare eye. But there's more to that. For me, as a young entertainer, a young mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, is a no-no. Too much young people unemployed, right? And is nowhere to turn. Look how much young people today killing themselves.
Yeah.
Even servicemen, they're killing themselves. We asking a question why or what causing it. The unemployment alone is having it all over the place. You're studying it for teeth. You're studying what to do to eat. It have people really hungry out there. It have people really desperate too. They will go any measures because they're hungry. And them not looking at that. And what I am seeing is boldly, they show you that they don't care for the African people. I don't know what we Africans want to see again for we to believe what it really is. You understand?
Yeah.
We have to open our eye and see what's going on. Really open with third eye and see what's really going on. This SOE, I don't really believe in this SOE because people still murdering, people still killing, the thieving, all kind of thing going on. So this SOE ain't making no sense to me. It just creating more problems, I find. It's more problems. Because police running in your house, you don't have nothing to eat. They're roughing you up, the machine your place. What is really going on?
Yeah.
It have single mothers there in knowing where the next meal coming from. I not working. You understand? I used to work Ministry of Works. I work in Ministry of Works 13 years, but I just only work when it's carnival time to put up the north stand and the downtown stand and all them thing. This year I was out of a job. They try to pick up for themselves, it go up faulty, but they show that it's okay. They ball them, but they have no money. Oh, they have no money. You understand? What about those who ain't working at all? Look at the Shogunas market, all the breakdown that there next to people on the breadline.
Yeah.
We have to wake up and smell the coffee.
I just want to say something. LSA workers.
Yes.
The LSA workers who was patrolling those abandoned apartments and them. They sent home 65 of those workers today without no salary.
But look, even the corporation, I work on that Chingwa, putting up in the downtown Sandy. And here he's saying by June, July, it had no payment to pay the people and them. So what are they going to do? Close down all the corporation?
The saying is, they're saying that the corporations, well, that is what Khadijah Abdin say. And that lady just lies so much, but that's besides the point. Good night to everybody on YouTube. Good night to everybody on TikTok. Hi, chatter. What they're saying is that the corporations is in debt. Right? Khadijah Abdin said that in Parliament. She said the corporations are in debt. They are owing thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to the government. And that is the reason why no corporation shouldn't be fetting. She said that for point 40, we shouldn't keep no borrow this year because we are owing.
Okay,
Superior hasn't collected no money for Superior Fet yet, and the Superior Fet supposed to be next week. They'll say that out, the owing. This is the kind of thing they're doing.
Beside the fet and thing, right? So what the nurses are into?
I don't know, ma'am. They're owing the nurses.
Like you just read my mind.
The nurses are into. My sister's a nurse.
All right.
And she working on one salary for how much years now? The mushi from Tong and Tenchi Toko. No money, no back pay, nothing. So they no heart for these people. These people standing up every day in hospital, getting sick. No proper medication. I was in the hospital the other day, heart attack. No medication. I had to be buying this medication at 1,085 for only 26 days. They don't have it in the hospital, and if they have it in the hospital, whoever having it, the people getting it, not poor people. So what is really going on? These nurses is who facing the brunt every day, seeing about them family and all. I mean, them mightn't put the family there. They might go West Shore or there or wherever. But you know what has happened? You see, God, don't play with God. He's not an unjust man. And sometimes when they go in them big hospital and they can't take care of them, they send them back in the government hospital. You understand? The unfair.
And you see when people come and talk about the PNM this and the PNM that, you need to understand that the PNM is not in power right now. Because when the PNM was in power, we were sick, them held accountable. The UNC is in power. She made promises. You understand? She promised we betterment. She did what she did, and we voted her in. People need to understand that the government works for us. We don't work for the government.
Let me just interject here. I want to answer Mr. Dark Society.
People like Heavy.
Tata, hold on, please, my love. Tata, hold on a bit. I am telling you guys to hold on. Right? So, Dark Society, he would have said, Warrior Princess, I respect you full 100, but PNM suffer poor people for years and nobody come and protested. Trinity, you want to answer Dark Society for me?
I would not be disrespectful, I promise you. Because I'm trying to change.
Yes, darling.
Dark Society, let me tell you something. People was protesting when PNM was in power. But we was not being silenced like how UNC is trying to silence us. You know how much things people say about Rowley? The man take that. You know what things people say about the PNM? The nurses and them was protesting when PNM was in power. Let me tell you something. Yes, the PNM do some wrong things. We get that. We get that. But people still have jobs. We had COVID from 2019 to 2022, and nobody wasn't left out of the job. Everybody was working and making the money normal. CPEP was going out there with their masks, and they was working and getting paid. URP, forestry, everybody was working and getting paid. You understand? So when I come up here to tell you propaganda talking about PNM this, PNM that, because only for the UNC. All they had to open all their eyes and smell the coffee. There are people who are suffering under the UNC because they have no more work. These people was using CPEP and URP and forestry as an income. These people have children. All they had to understand what people going through. All they had to put all their foot in other people's shoes. You understand? You don't have to think about yourself.
Not even that.
Hold on.
Not even that, right? Even self they had.
Queen, hold on 1 second. Mr. Chatter was about to make a contribution, and when he's finished, you will come back on. Okay, darling? Chatter, make a contribution, love.
I was hearing Heavy make a statement, right? Saying that how the PNM only have the people working CPEP and URP and have them there. And that's the mindset what the PNM have. And the UNC is going to bring a program to elevate the people and take them out from only cutting bush and raking up grass and things. But Where is
Oh,
that
Chacha,
program?
hold
It's
on.
going in a year.
School, you can mute your mic, please.
Well,
It's
let me
going
School,
in
say
a
mute your
year
mic.
now. And the
Mute my
UNC
mic. Okay.
people and them and the UNC fanatics telling us to hold on, but hold on to what? We have nothing to hold on to. It have people suffering. It have people cannot pay their rent. It have people cannot feed their family. You hold on to what, Princess? What we holding on to? To
to
dreams?
win, to
The UNC,
dreams.
the UNC is selling us dreams right now, and that's why the people vote for them, because the nurses and URP and CPEP and forestry workers and the whole country vote for UNC for a change. We never vote to hold on. All the promise the people, the thing deliver. That is all we asking for. Deliver what they promise for.
And let me add something here, Chatter. So you see everybody talking about, oh, people that come out and protest. Let me tell you something. Madam Felicia would have advocate on behalf of the UNC. And in her speeches, she was saying that vote for the UNC and we'll get with 10%. For around Christmas time, ministry workers would have gotten their 10% and the little $20,000 who get 10, but nonetheless, people would have gotten money, right? And they would have also gotten, the ministry workers would have also gotten their raise in salary, okay? Time going by, and what happened to the healthcare workers? So they decided to take to the streets to ask a question, because apparently, like the union, well, you realize the union, the PSA leader, Mrs. What's her name again? The name ran out my head. Yes, Felicia Thomas went into hiding. She gone silent. And people have been asking her questions, and she's not answering, because people on the PSA group chat with her, they would have showed me comments where they're asking her, and in some instances, she will give them little excuses, and then after she gone silent. So they decided to take to the streets in a peaceful demonstration to ask when. They said they want their money now, this month, next month, they want to know when. And instead of coming out and engaging with the people, to get them at least some sort of a comfort, guys were heavy jump out and try to make a distraction to distract the RHA workers and other workers by saying the people and them is PNM people. But while I was out there, I saw hard-working men and women that is living on a 20
The man said,
salary.
thank God they have a job.
Right. Yeah, well, we have a job, yes. Thank God. And watch me, thank God we have a job. But here what's going on, you have a job and it costs to sustain your family. You have people have rent to pay. It have people had a children to send to school, sir. You have a job, but you cannot make it to work. You have a job and you can't buy. Hold on, Chatter. You have a job and you can't put food on the table. You have a job and you can't pay for your car. The same car that you went and take a loan so that you could, save on money so that you would transport your family from point A to point B. Right? So having a job is one thing, right? But if the salary does not meet the requirements, doesn't meet the expenditure, I should say, what will happen? Remember the UNC said that they will find the money, they will fix it, The UNC said when they win, everybody win. And it's almost, well, it's a year. This one make it a year. And nobody here win. The only person I believe win is the so-called bloggers like the Heavy, who busting up him out, sounding like a house negro. What's his name? The NCW, the Matara, the Twiggy, all those, and the ringleader and others. Those are the ones that win. But the other people, the rest of Trinidad and the ministers, the UNC ministers, are the ones that are winning.
And this one, some will talk gong too. Them is an
right,
excellent
they are the ones that winning, but we are winning. So don't come and talk about, say thank God we have a job. We thank God for our job. We don't hate our jobs. We are exchanging labor for money. And who wants to know you're working and your salary you're living, right about now, sir, we are not even living paycheck to paycheck. Because by the time you get the little salary and you pay your bills, you're broken. You make groceries, you're broken. You have to study, and especially if you're living far like me. If I don't have $55 a day, I cannot reach to Port of Spain. to go and do the government work. You understand? I am happy I have my job. So when you come, don't come and say those kind of foolishness, please. Yes, we happy we have a job, but at the end of the day, if the job is paid, what you gonna do? And if that's the only job you have and the only job you know to do, so we're gonna tell the nurses if the job not paid, leave the job and go and do whatever else they go and do. Trinidad, it has nothing else in the country to do. What they gonna do? Migrate?
I could say something, Queenie, warrior.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Hold on, chatter.
Even so, right? Okay.
Yes.
You shut down CPEP, you shut down URP, you shut down forestry, you shut down this. Them is workers, right? Why you shut down the little avenues where black boy could go and study a trade? Like my lat and all these little place.
Yeah, they close down all the programs.
Whoever say PNM never do nothing for them, they lie. I get plenty certificates on the PNM. You understand? The bad talking PNM all about, but it's Wicheren was going in my lat and CCC and all them little places. Who opened that? Who opened them avenues? Well, the wicked told us.
Right, so I want to give Chatter, hold on a bit, love. I see I have 2 new people up in the comments section. How many comments up in the box? And I want to give them a chance to say something, right? Because I still have to talk on this high crime zone area, right? So Miss the lady School of something. Pleasant good night, ma'am. Can we hear your contribution?
Hey, Sugar Plum, how are you going?
I'm good.
Okay, to be quite honest, it's how to put it, it's a bittersweet situation, and until we the people come out of this mentality of politics or political, I am a PNM and I am a UNC, and we come out of that mentality and we start to get up and work for whatever little it have, because at the end of the day, everybody talk about Rowley this, Rowley that, Rowley blah, blah, blah. But you know what? We had a take where we have this now, because now we in the shit and nobody voting she out. So, but if it was Rowley was in power and we was doing him, we know to vote him out. But she in power, and all we could do is have this conversation here, have the conversation amongst ourselves, but we are not doing anything. We are not coming together as a people to say, okay, this needs to stop, this needs to stop, this needs to go, that needs to go. We feeling the backlash of it. We the people. I pay in NIS. What is happening with all the NIS contribution in the next 5 years when NIS go on down the drain? What is happening to my contributions? We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about fixing the roads. We making the little things into big things, and the things that we're supposed to really and truly focus on, we are not focusing on it as a people. We're not doing it. And it starts with us. It starts with us, the people. Like you, Miss Warrior, you still putting it out there, you're trying to educate the people. But how much of us taking that into consideration on a daily basis? How much of us applying that on a daily basis and trying to make a betterment for themselves? We're talking about CPEP, we're talking about URP. All right, they shut off all of that. What have you done? Have you get yourself involved in the evening classes with whatever going on, and make a little bread, make a little cake, make something?
But they don't have nothing like that right now. Everything closed off, you know.
Okay, all of that.
What I was saying just now there. That is what I was saying just now there.
Everything closed off. But what we looking at, when the classes were there, people were not going to the classes too. It had the few people who going to it, you know. It had the few people that going to it. And then it have the few people, the majority of them wasn't going to the classes. So these are the things that we have to look at, and we have to look at ourselves, and we have to take accountability for some of the things. Everybody,
I can say something.
go ahead.
I had a lady came up here, right? And she said I think it's her nephew or cousin had 11 passes and he can't get a job.
Yep.
So you taking those classes and I say you don't take those classes and you cannot get a job?
All right, let me give my 2 cents on that, and that comes back down to the government because we need to change certain systems. If you are telling me that you are giving all these courses at university level, degrees, masters, bachelors, whatever, and you are not providing the jobs for the people, that is where the system is broken. The system is broken. You have to understand that the system is broken, and if the system broken, then we can't go anywhere. Because of that, why, for example, let's just say he have 11 subjects, he can't get a job, he can't this, because they are not providing the jobs for the people.
But they're not providing job for the people exactly. But now, as I said before, where people was taking the little courses for granted, now the people know how important those courses were.
Correct is right.
And at the same time, those courses is no more.
Right.
They shut down everything. So then where do we go from here? What do we do? What can we do?
As you say, we fight back.
Well, you see, think we can fight back, but how? We don't remember with this SOE. Let me tell you. You see, if they didn't have this SOE, this government know very well what they are doing. You see this SOE?
That's right.
This SOE put a muzzle on some people because what I want to say, I really cannot see. So I just kind of tiptoe around the edges. Right? With this SOE, people are afraid to come out here because before they put out the SOE, people was very boisterous on TikTok, you know. Every couple of minutes, people were coming out. Watch me, the whole of Trinidad and Tobago they become TikTokers, you know. They were coming out and voicing their opinion about the government and every creed and race. So the fact that they put this SOE in place now, people get quiet. One people go come out, right? And they're watching, you know, because that march they had in Port of Spain a couple of Fridays ago, right? They were scared, you know. They were shaking in their boots, you know. And you know what I said to myself? I said, I wonder if this crowd brave enough to swing by Parliament. What they would do. You see? And they went up, I think we walked down, I can't remember the name of the street, but we end up on the Brian Lara Promenade. And Mr. Edie Stewart, he gave a speech and whatever. And we was hoping for a positive outcome and only to be met with the Minister of Health saying that nothing is wrong with the healthcare, right? But I would have heard that in Sandy Grande, just yesterday, I think, or this morning when I was in a taxi, one of the nurses was saying she was the only person in her ward, I can't remember the name of the ward she was on, as to how much patients, right? Grandy was in a limbo and other places, so I don't know how he will come up and say that. But I find, you know, but then again, they had to say something, you know, for people so that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago wouldn't watch them a certain type of way. Because the amount of nurses I saw out there, and I don't believe that is half. It's half more than that. And by saying that, I want to believe, in my opinion, he should have never come out and said that. You know, they come like you're jeering them. Because if all the nurses and all the staff that concerns healthcare walk out for 1 or 2 days, you know how much chaos, you know how much debt that could be. No, we don't want that, you know, because I have family in the hospital right now. I wouldn't like, and not only my family, other people's family. I wouldn't really like that. So I find instead that the Minister had come out and make that statement, he's supposed to call the union rep, Mr. Edie Stewart. Well, they can't call Felicia because Felicia done gone, she were already. And try to reach the people, lobby with them, sit and talk with them, but they didn't do that. So I want to believe the next march will be even bigger because up to now, all the nurses and, well, the public servants wanted to know is, or I should say the RHA workers wanted to know is when will they be getting their raise in salary and their back pay. And up to now, the government quiet. But then you're hearing about this $3.4 billion given out in contracts.
Giving out to themselves. Giving out to themselves.
Right, so let me let Kitty say something. Kitty, pleasant good night, my darling, and welcome. Kitty, let me hear your contribution, darling, because I want to move on to another topic.
I listen. I listen, and I feel like I repeated myself most of the time because.
All right, so let me thanks for the. I want to move away from this topic a bit because it's 9:07, right? And we have a couple minutes again. So, as I was saying before, right? So, I read somewhere where they said that U.S. government employees stationed in Trinidad and Tobago are prohibited from traveling to several high-risk areas in Port of Spain. Right? And they went on to list the areas, and I find all of a sudden they jump out with that. How all of a sudden they come with that. And then they start to list the areas like Lavantil, Piccadilly Street, Besson Street,
Nelson,
parts of Charlotte, Belmont, Sealots, and all these places. But wasn't those same areas they were walking when we were campaigning? So how all of a sudden they are just asking for a friend? How all of a sudden? So then I want to believe they want to come with another, they want to come with this also. Because remember, those are the areas they just consider the ghetto, I should say, or the high crime areas. Those are the areas, and right about now, people not having. That's just my thought. Right about now, people not having. People complaining. And when I pipe back, it is bust. So I want to believe they're coming with something again. You know? Correct me if I'm wrong. People in the comments, let me know.
They're coming with our next SOE again, Moria. And if you look sharp, they're going till September.
I feel they're coming with something again. You see, I believe they're creeping up on us. The fact that they could come out of the blues, but they had the SOE done there already. And they spoke so highly of the SOE. They said the SOE is curbing the crime, right?
I do not think that could get our next SOE so easily.
Watch my brother, them doing anything. Them getting anything. I tell them empower, them doing anything.
But I want to know, what is all your thoughts on that? What is all your thoughts on
my thoughts on it? Frankly, when they play with dogs, they get bitten by fleas. And you see that, what they're doing there is an uprising they go get. Because when a man hungry and he have nothing to give each children, or he give family to eat, he go out there. And they don't say that had too much guns on the streets. Well, the guns go really come out because all they doing me. All they Muslim me, I ain't working, I can't get nothing to eat. Wait is really going on. Men will start to think that way. People will start to think that way.
So why did
Mr. Paul, hold on please, give me a minute. So I want to engage with some of the people on YouTube. I hope all they don't mind, right? So Mr. Cricket Ward said they are hiding behind the SOE. And I believe so too. Right? Just now, I want to read some of the comments. Hold on. Just now, I want to read some of the comments. Hold on. Just now, let me come up to the top. Let me go up to the top. All right, so somebody said that I'm not engaging with the YouTube. Oh God, all you forgive me now. It's only tonight it come back, and I humbly apologize. All right, Warrior Princess, that contract money cut as big cuts in corruption. And Michelle Skeet would have said, hi, Michelle Skeet. It have single units all over. Yes, we know it have single units all over. Rudy Rood said, point workers gone home. Oh, okay. Contracts will be awarded, but PNM contractors need to apply, Papa. Well, you know, if PNM contractors go there and try to bid, you know what's going on? They ain't getting through. Not under this government. Right? Altia. Blessed night, Altia. Blessed night, Altia. Good evening, everyone. But is the same thing happened in 2010 to 2015 with this government? Nothing new. And it's the same thing. So we had to really watch them. And the same thing is that the UNC don't want no opposition and they don't want nobody to come out and question or challenge some of the decisions they are making based on how they're behaving in Parliament. You understand me? And the Mr. Speaker, oh boy, you notice when anybody from the opposition side come out to make a statement, he just cut them off one time. And we what you saying, Mr. Paul? Say?
And you see, we do it, Saddam Hussein and Robinson, Tammy Robinson in Parliament, or it was when he's saying all kind of thing, and he's saying he didn't hear, he said that, but when she says something, he hears everything clearly what she said. But here,
well, you can see from what I see, the way how the behaving and the way how the Speaker of the House behaving is total biasness. It's as if they don't want nobody to question them, the actions, the motive, whatever they're doing. You must not question it. You must not say nothing. In other words, they don't want an opposition. And we need to have an opposition. Right now, the opposition is the only people who speaking for us. Whether some of us like them or not. The PNM is the only hope. I ain't see another credible party that could stand up there and say, hey, what's going on? We go, let me give the PNM or the UNC a big fight, you know.
I think we should give Michaela Pandey a chance, because if you listen to Michaela Pandey, and I'm saying this because I know some of you might eat off my head, but that's okay.
No, it's correct. She's saying it's true.
Mr. Paul, hold on, please. Sweetie, let me tell you this. You see this platform?
Yeah.
The name of this platform is Let Your Voice Be Heard, and everybody's opinion matters. Right? So nobody ain't coming to eat off your head. That is your opinion. It may not be my opinion. It might not be everybody else's opinion here, but this is not about UNC and PNM. This is about right is right, wrong is wrong, and what affects you and I, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So go ahead and make a contribution, darling.
Because I had the opportunity to meet with her as a humane person on a one-on-one. And the vision that she has for this country is not just about politics, but is for a betterment of society. I was sorry that, for the general election going, she didn't get that turnout, but I understand the political strings behind it. So, but at the end of the day, she has a vision. I hope that eventually she will be able to get her foot in the water and get it wet. I really wish that she had won her father's seat. I'm being honest, because she would have made it might not have been a big impact, but she would have made a difference. Because if you listen to some of the things that she brings up, is really, really things that the average person like myself and you, what we want. That's what we want. If you listen to her, she's about that. She's about that. So that's just my 2 cents.
All right. So hold on. Now let me engage in the comment section on YouTube, right? So Brenda Smart would have said, pleasant good night, Brenda Smart. The government has to give corporations money to run the communities so that the corporation can't owe any money. The government has to disperse funds. That's Brenda Smart again. She said the government has to disperse funds to the corporation so Khadijah can't be trying to fool the people. Oh, that's when she came up and talk about no funding for the URP workers in Port of Spain. All right, so let me see who else wasn't able to make a contribution. Kitty, you want to make a contribution based on the last topic? where they would have enlisted all the high crime areas.
That is oppression. If you realize this government is oppressing people, right? And they targeting certain areas and the whole with everything, you know. And I mean, the state we in right now, we was listening John last night and we see the position John was in. You understand? And that is mental. A government that making people reach in a mental state, that alone telling you what's going on is a lot of dictatorship. We have to be, as we say, we have to be careful with what we're saying, because just imagine a government in power and the people actually, we are afraid of them. That's scary, you know. That's like in a horror movie, like, what the hell we really do, boy? What we do, boy? How we do this? Why? And when we even get time to think, and even though the time we are getting to think is more affliction, more pain is scariest. I don't even know what going to be the scariest act with the UNC, but 4 years on that SOE, because let me tell you this, I strongly believe, I mean, because they know people is going to uproar. And they could use that as an excuse to keep an next SOE. And that's what they're going to do, as the person on YouTube said, you understand, they're hiding behind. There's a little curtain, the SOE is a little curtain, a little blind. You understand? For them to be able to do what they do, because look at money they're collecting in ticket fines. What are these people doing with this money? They keep telling me, oh, the country had no money. You understand? The little black boy who try, you know, the little East Indian man who tried to even sell a little fish out here, struggling to even put gas, going back home with fish in the van. You understand? They had the product, but people don't have the money. You understand? So people living at a level now that we are afraid of the government, because if we say how we really feel about them, they could lock us up like Karen Alexis. Yeah, like how Karen Alexis lock up for just talking the truth. What we always, as Trinidadians, have been doing years. We grandparents doing that years now before the media, you know. So now, come on, think about it. All the years with Manning, Pandey, all these other people, Robinson, Eric Williams passed, and we have never felt this level of dictatorship, to be feeling so scared and afraid to speak the truth and how you really feel, and people suffering inside. People can't pay their rent because they lost their jobs. People are afraid if they get caught that the children not going to school, because they lost their jobs and they couldn't afford to send the children back out to school because they get firm with that law now. I mean, everything is, if you look at this government, one thing they would remember in long history for it, they had the people oppressed and very afraid and scared. And we have to live with that for 4 years, because as Pool of Georgia said, we just wouldn't get up and do anything. We can make we could, if we want these people out of power, I tell them all that, they could go. But it's us, and they already gave us a study and know how we just operate, so they know it will never happen. So it's SOE for the 4 years. Just be prepared, Guyana don't have no gas. What you think going to happen? What is going to happen to us here? If we don't wake up and be serious, Candice could be coming on here how much times for the week, day after day, and if all they do really say, hey, you know what, let me come together, let me forget about race, because it's affecting all of us, East Indians and Africans, all of us down here who paying rent to landlord, and so I know all they ain't rich. The prices and everything that these people doing, it's affecting us mentally, till we thinking about unaliving. Like I hear King Wallace live, the man said he still and thing, and he started to feel like he wanted to unalive himself. And this is on our content. And that's the reality to what is going on now. It may not be so to some of you all, but sometimes you got to take yourself and put yourself in other people's position, because you don't know today or tomorrow where you could fall. You're working yesterday. Candice don't know what could happen yesterday. This could be, we do not know. That's why we say live good, think about others, try to treat others as how you would love yourself to be treated. We are in a real shitty people, we in a real shitty spot. You think Candice want to be sitting on here this hour of the night to be doing live like this when she could just be relaxing? But knowing the
After I
fact,
had
but the fact she know, well, yeah, boy, I influence these people, you know, and she is the voice for the people. She know this, so she had to come out here and say something, you know. And then you're looking at people and all, you're not saying all of you not taking it serious, but when I look at Trinidad and Tobago, but even look what they go on with Karen. They go on with him for what he has not said he was going to become violent or anything. In none of his content, in none of his life, he's just there speaking the truth. And look what's going on all now. He is not here.
Kitty,
And what we doing?
that is very frightening. No. You could be here talking about issues and they could just come up with something and just snatch you. And why must that be? Why are they doing that to people? And that's so unfair. You know what I want to ask? If they had no law that, or could a court of law could stand up for people, so then you don't have to have proof. You could just say, all right, Kitty is a drug lord, Chatta is a drug lord, Paul is and Trinity is criminals, and just come and just take them just so.
One of the main
And put them.
I read a line that they say the police has arrested 1,588 people during this SW, right? And they have charged 355 people. And you know why I say? 95% of these people that they arrested got arrested for the mouth. Plenty people got arrested for the mouth. Just because of voicing their opinions, they got arrested. And this is wrong. This is wrong because we have freedom of speech in Trinidad and Tobago. Why are you trying to silence us? Because why? You don't want the community, you don't want the people of Trinidad and Tobago to know the wickedness you're doing. Now I was listening to all with the money from the housing and thing. If all they pass in Point Lisas have something called a police graveyard. Every car that get an accident, stop work, engine stop work, they throw it in there. There are police vehicles that are rotting in that place, and all they're doing is buying new vehicles. Using we taxpaying money and buying new vehicles. There are some cars in that graveyard. All you need to do is just take out a part from our old car, from our old police vehicle and put it in our next vehicle and it's back working, you know. But they rather take we money and spend it recklessly. I don't know. You understand?
And then what I watch at, when the sorry to cut you off, question. When I saw the news media personnel ask Mr. Arnold Roberts a question, you know, his response was very, I don't know, but I was like, why? I don't understand them, you know. Why it is you keep making up excuse not to ask to respond to the questions, and you just making joke and talking about he don't speak to the news media. They too
very disrespectful.
And when I ask for Robertson wages, you telling them that Robertson need wigs. What?
Right. So when Fitzgerald Hines and Colin Imbert was shying away from the news media, I think that was Prakash or Akash Samaru. Everybody went down and Stuart, not Stuart Young, what's his name? Colin Imbert and Heinz Truth, and tell them about it. And the UNC and all, they spoke about it, they highlighted, and now they're coming back to do the same thing. When the news media asking questions, the news media had to ask all the questions because we asking questions and all in answering we. Now the news media person are asking questions and all in answering them. So all they don't want to give account to nobody and nothing. And when people open them out to talk, all they come in and snatch them and the family don't know, God alone know what all they doing to them and where they is. And after the SOE done, all they let them go, like when they open a pen and they let out the chicken. And then in return now, the people come around to sue the state, and is the state had to pay.
Sometimes
Just like
ridiculous.
just now, Mr. Paul, just like when the police come and they give a wrong case or they have advantage and you go to court, bam, you come and you win your case, and what they had to do, turn on and sue the state. So it's like you're going wrong in circles, and this thing had to stop. When will we see the light of day? People not here to cost the UNC because there's nothing, I don't believe there's anything we can do at this moment to vote them out. And if there's anything for us to do, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are so afraid because of this SOE. And they know exactly what they're doing. As Trinity said, they made us a study. We are not warish people. We are not, bacchanalists and confusionists. You understand me? So they made us a study. But at least, oh God, shine some light on the poor people. What do they want the people who lost their jobs to do? That is my question. How would they survive? I want to know, because you're listening, the country has no money, but yet still $3.4 billion jump up to give in contracts to build new houses. How?
The country,
And then they come
country.
out, just now, Mr. Paul, hold on. Just now, and then they come and say, all these high crime areas, right? High risk areas, and they label them. So, they come in with another something again to kind of, because these are the, let me tell you something, those are the areas. Just now, hold on, baby. Give me 1 second. I want to believe. You see, those areas in Port of Spain area there, those people and them, right now, they under the gun, and them feeling it. In the country here, we could still go by the neighbor and get a hand of fig. Might get some yam and eat it with oil and butter and whatever. But in them area in Port of Spain, when nobody ain't have, You remember when Jason came up and talked about the situation in his neighborhood where the little children and then one of the little child come by for some teeth and he eye glassy and the child was vomiting green? So imagine how these people feeling in that area. They know very well the first set of people to pop, it might rise up and come out is in that area, So they make them a study, and I believe they want to shut them, lock down that area and come with another thing. But why are they doing the people that people not having? People not having home. Better all they go and just clear land and just start to dig holes. So when people drop down and dead, or they take their life, or they kill one another, you just throw them in there. Like when COVID came in action and they couldn't bury people, they just dig hole and throw them in it. People had to eat, people had to live, and only tell them, hold on to what?
But
all you have, just now, Mr. Paul, the life that we give to all is not where it is here it is. All you're not understanding, the poor man on the ground, the people who lost their jobs, they don't have. They really don't have. We're not here to rob all, we're not here to cost, we're not here to make no bacchanal. We just want to let all in because we know all they're listening. Oh God, make life a little easier for the band on the ground now. Go ahead, Mr. Paul, say.
But why saying, Francis? You put on Port of Spain as a hot zone, right? It has
areas. Here are the areas. Let me reiterate the areas. Right? So they said Lavantil, Piccadilly Street, Besson Street, and parts of Charlotte Street, such as Belmont, Silots, and Cocorit. So those are the high crime areas, suspected high crime areas. Right? But just not watch yourself. But bearing in mind, those are the same areas that all of them would have walked for the election. So what are they really doing?
Yeah, but why
yes, not Paul. Yes, we know it has crime. It is high crime in all them areas because some of them is the hotspot. But it's not a dead hotspot. So what is the difference from then to now? So they go just run SOE. Or they go just run SOE and have people frightened. Because mainly, people are afraid of this government. I am all afraid of them, because according to Kitty, I just feel like it's a nightmare. I just feel like I living in a nightmare. I just ask myself every day, what have I done? What really going on? All people want to do is to survive, just to be able to take it. And if all they start to create jobs and put things in place for the people, all they don't know, we don't want all the again. People will hold their head down. Yes, the crime go on. Well, all they could have all the SOE for the crime, so lock up all them criminals and deal with the criminal activities. But the people who really want, who don't have, I wouldn't even want to come up here and say nothing. Create jobs, put things in place for the people so people can be able to sustain their family. They know we have 4 more years to take our all here. Well, okay, we will keep we head down, put things in place for us so that we can be able to provide for our families, and life goes on until next election. But as of now, people will come out and complain. And you feel like I want to be here every night. I as a woman that's going to bed by 7:30.
See what I'm saying? She make a deal with Trump and she shake hand with Trump and go against CARICOM for Trump. And the vice president of America, he's stating how he said that how that they want to stop Trinidad and some coming to America, they want to stop the visas. And on top of that, he said that Trinidad and Tobago is a terrorist country. And he said that how we full of crime. So you side with the devil, and this is what they're saying behind your back. You're stupid for a prime minister. Because at the end of the day, you go against your own sisters and brothers.
Trinity. Remember, we refraining from calling names, please. Retract that, love.
Okay. All right. Okay. You make a mistake for Prime Minister because you go against your own brothers and sisters in CARICOM for a foreigner, and look what they're saying about your own country. Make that make sense? Not making any sense.
Right, so you guys hear me now? It's 9:33. Right, so I'm about to wrap up. Let me leave some for tomorrow, please God. God's willing, once God spare our lives. Right? As Janelle Pinto said, you have to be careful, Trinity. We're not calling names, and we cannot, and I will not encourage people on the platform here to disrespect the Prime Minister. Yes, we have a problem with the way how they are doing things, but we have to remain respectable, please. Trinity, your mouth a little too hot. But nonetheless, I humbly apologize on behalf of Trinity, for the name calling. And after today, that will not happen again. But at the end of the day, people really under pressure and they are frustrated. So in between the little, the hastiness will come out, but we will try not for that to happen again. And I want to say thank you guys, everybody in the panel that came up and gave your contribution, the ones that were here and the ones that came off, and to everybody in the comments section. Let me call some names. We had a lot of people tonight. We have 171 people on the live tonight. Wow, thank you. Thanks to everybody for coming on.
Princess.
Right. So yes, my dear.
You have to get back early,
How we getting back early, boy? So we have the Fox, Pleasant Good Night, Simone Charles, hold on, Paul. I want to say good night to some of the people, right? And even on YouTube as well. Pleasant good night to everybody on YouTube. And pleasant good night to Mr. Peter E., Archibald, Mags, Mr. Smooth, Rasta Muffin. It's too much people. I can't call everybody name, but I just want to say a pleasant good night and thank you guys for coming on. And also I want to thank Mr. Renison Jeffrey for having our program back up and running on YouTube. And again, I want to humbly apologize to everybody on YouTube for not being able to bring the program on there for you to view it, right? Because of technical difficulties. That's fine down the platform, right? So I want to say pleasant good night again, love in the house, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow. And Tobago, Mr. Tobago, thanks for joining us. Chatter, Trinity, Kitty, Mr. Paul, Mr. Glenn, the guy from Tobago, and this lady here, Q3 something, I'm not seeing your whole name, and School of something. Thank you.
Queen Bee is my name.
Queen Bee?
Yeah.
Queen Bee, and the lady to the top in the red, School of what?
School of Georgia.
School of Georgia. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us.
We have to bring back. We have to bring back. We have to bring back Bobby. We have to bring back Bobby. We have to bring back Bobby. Bring back Bobby. You have to bring back Bobby.
Yeah, Paul, I agree with you. Like, we need someone back, but we get back now. God, boy.
He don't want no part of we. We treat him bad, but he don't want no part of
like
we.
when school is out. All they getting on like when school is out and children in recess and they make it noise. Stop it, children. Right? But let me say a little word of prayer for Trinidad and Tobago before we close. Right? So, Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity tonight, Lord. And we ask that you watch over Trinidad and Tobago, that you will touch every household, and that you will soften the hearts and the minds of the government that we put in power, the UNC government, every ministers, even the Prime Minister. Let her hear our plight and hear our plead, right? And put something in place to assist the poor man on the ground. And I also want to pray for the opposition. Father God, I want you to bless the opposition and keep them strong and keep them firm together with peace, love, and unity to stand right on the opposition side to fight for the people against some of the decisions the UNC is making, Father God. And I even pray for Parliament, the Speaker of the House. Touch his heart and his mind. Let him not be biased, but at least, let him weigh the situation. I ask that your Holy Ghost anointed touch Parliament tonight, Lord, and let the leaders that is governing this country lead this country in the right way. Father God, and again, remember the meek and the humble, oh God. Remember the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago tonight, Lord. We pray for peace, love, and unity over our country and over our citizens. Father God, we pray that you take charge, you take the lead, and you take control. Let the blood of Jesus flow upon Trinidad and Tobago. In no other name, but in your holy name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. The ones who came up and who coming in the box asking to come up now, it's a bit too late. And they're about to close. Right, so I'll see you guys here tomorrow, chatter. Tomorrow, please God, Trinity, and everybody else.
Have a good night.
Have a pleasant night. Thank you.
Have a good night.
She pizza and she can't see. So yes. I wake she up and she don't want. She wants to sleep.